Okay, so I know many of you are wondering who is Tyrell. On Saturday, this past Saturday, I got a chance to go to WordCamp San Francisco. Met a couple cool people, met several new people, and loved it. Now, on Saturday morning, let me take that back actually. Sunday morning. The reason I remember this is because it was actually on Contributor Day. Saturday morning, I get a tweet from Jan and Andrea and Sarah and asking breakfast. Of course, I say yes. So name the location, and I say, okay, I'll be down in a few minutes. I'm waiting, holding my camera in my hand. I have my backpack on, looking around, left and right, of course, in front of the diner. And lo and behold, some person decides to walk up to me. Of course, he's a person, human. I'm not going to judge. Why would I? It's not my place. It's not my time. It's not the human heart. Now, I'm waiting around. He comes up to me and he asks me, "Say, brother, let me ask you a question." So I look at him and I say, "Yeah, go ahead. What's up?" "Do you smoke?" And I don't, of course. I've tried to smoke. That was years ago. I think I was 7, 8 years old, but it's in the past. Now, he looks at me and asks, "Do you smoke weed?" I look at him. No, actually, I've never tried it. Never thought about it. He looks at me. Now, he's holding a little glass cup in his hand. Kind of like this. Just, okay. And he looks at me and says, "Really?" Because leans in and tells me, "You look like a brother that smokes weed." And how do I take that? How to respond? And so I look at him and I say, what's weird is I actually get that a lot. I don't know why, but yeah, I've never tried it, never had the idea, never wanted to. It's like, all right. You ever do crack? No, sorry. Never thought about doing any hard drugs. He pauses for a quick second and looks at me and says, "I'm sorry," and he asks again, "Are you a cop?" I'm looking around, I'm like, if I say yes, is he gonna stab me? He's gonna shank me? Something. So, of course, I'm not, clearly. And I kind of hesitate a little, and I look at him. I was like, "No, actually, I'm not." He's like, all right, cool. So what's your name? I look at him and I tell him my name. I'm Jose. He's like, all right, cool. My name's Tyrell. Now, the way he tries to shake my hand, not really shake my hand, he's still holding the glass. He reaches over and tries to fist bump me. And I didn't want to be rude. I fist bumped him back. I'm a human. He's a human. And I'm like, okay, cool. He starts walking around and he asks me, he's like, "So, what kind of photography you do?" I didn't want to ignore him. I didn't want to be impolite, so I respond. And I tell him, it actually varies. I've tried a lot. I've experimented with a lot of other things. And he looks at me and asks, "Oh, so you ever do portraits?" Actually, no. I guess I haven't experimented with everything. I've never tried. I've thought about it, yes, but I don't think it's for me. Now, the entire time he's kind of walking back and forth, finally sits down at this little ledge, and he tells me, "So, say, man," reaches down, and I hear him lighting a lighter, or making an attempt to light a lighter. And so I just kind of trying to look away, I guess you could say. Not really pay much attention to it all. So looking, and I'm just like, oh god, where are you guys? Like, help, bail me out. It usually goes. So I'm still waiting. He's still trying to light something. And what cracks me up is he decides to ask me a question. Of course, again. "So, wait, you said what kind of photography you do again?" I'm like, mostly landscapes, portraits. No, not portraits, I'm sorry. Macro photography. Just random things that I've come across, candid, I guess you could say. All right, all right. You ever do headshots? No, actually, never have. I don't talk to a lot of people that do that kind of stuff or want to do that stuff. All right, all right. So, cause I'm an actor, you see, so I'm looking for headshots. Cool, awesome, good for you. And this is kind of the interesting part. I'm still waiting. I look around and there is no one on the street, or at least no one that I know. And he pauses for a quick second and asks me, "Hey, so you are you said you weren't a cop?" Yeah, not a cop. Good thing too, I guess. He's like, "So would you be my watch?" I'm sorry. Would you be my watch? Because I'm trying to obviously trying to get this crack going. No, no, I don't feel like, I don't know. I'll pay you, is what he says. So, I'm just like, while I appreciate the offer, I think I'm gonna have to pass. But thank you though. So, by this time, Jan had finally arrived, and he's in front of the lorries, taking a picture with his camera. And I look over and I'm just like, Mike, you leave. Bye. So, I'll start making my way over, and I tell him, I was like, oh, it looks like there's my friend. I'm gonna head over there. Walking over, I see Jan, and I was like, hey, what's up? He looks at me, he's like, oh, not much. We start talking back and forth a little bit. And as we're talking, Tyrell, lo and behold, decides to walk by. And as he's walking by, he says something to the two of us. He said something along the lines of like, oh, you keep being cool, brother, something like that. Don't fully remember. Neither one of us can. And I kind of look over and I'm like, alright, cool, have a good one. Jan looks over, you too, brother. Jan looks at me and kind of slightly perplexed, but not. Says, really cool guy. And I was like, yeah, he is. His name's Tyrell. He looks at me, what? I was like, yeah, we talked earlier. Now, earlier in that, well, not earlier, that previous night, on our way back to our respective hotels, we came across an interesting intersection. It was a fun one. And this was actually the highlight of the night because, obviously, you may or may not have seen the tweet of the night. We're walking and we come across two nuns and Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. I'd almost forgotten it was Halloween tomorrow. In the week following? I don't know how you want to say it. But yeah. So of course everyone's having Halloween parties. So lo and behold, you see two sexy nuns and Winnie the Pooh. Interesting. They're walking, and I guess some random person in that corner had some little exchange of words that they didn't agree upon. And we just hear the last words being spoken yelled out saying, I went to Catholic school. I know all the animal secrets. I know what y'all did. We all look at each other, start laughing, of course, because how can you not laugh at something like that? And we just kept walking. Now, wind back to contributor day. We start telling other people the story behind Tyrell and what's going on. So of course we will make occasional jokes of, you look like a brother that, and insert. Or, I'll pay you. Get a couple laughs here and there. It's cool. Now, after contributor day, we're waiting around and we couldn't decide what we wanted. Jan made the suggestion of having Chinese food. So we go to Chinatown. Awesome. Now, our Uber driver wasn't exactly the perkiest, I guess you could say. We say, oh yeah, we want to go to Chinatown. The response is, why would you go there? Because we want to. How do you... Okay, it's your job to take us there. So, we start making our way there. And at one point, it gets super quiet. There's like nothing to be said, nothing to be spoken of. I turn to my right, and at this intersection, at the pedestrian intersection, I look over and I see Tyrell. And I yell out, and of course, not really yell out, I say, hey, there's Tyrell. the entire car starts busting up again. So, of course, on our way to Chinatown, she kept asking, like, what are we doing there? What are we going to do? And we finally tell her we're going to have Chinese food because Jan misses his wife. Understandable. We all have our little quirks here and there. We respect them. Now, we get to an intersection where she asked us, on the right-hand side, there is Chinatown, where you should be, or you want to go. And on the left-hand side is, of course, North Beach, where I think you should go, where you want to go. And of course, unanimously, we all say, Chinatown, come on. We chose upon this. Now, we get to a point where we stop, she drops us off, and it's at the butt end of Chinatown. So there's kind of, I guess you could say, a shady place, but it's all good, I guess. And we start busting out our phones looking for places to eat. And we kind of are hesitant as to which direction to go. And I want to say it was Mika that actually said it. I don't fully remember who. But the statement went, she was dropping us off to take us to Tyrell. And of course, we all had some good laughs. And we ended up going to, I don't fully remember what the name of the place was, but it's over by Imperial Palace, I want to say. Really good food. Had some fun, had some laughs. And of course, there's your story of Tyrell. Now you know the story. So now you can no longer say, you look like a brother that doesn't know who Tyrell is.